During a karaoke night at the Dakota, my mom took me to, I recall us getting to the Dakota around 8 p.m. Or maybe a few minutes before that point. Yeah, some minutes before 8 p.m. I sang a total of 4 songs. First, Yellow by Coldplay. Then Hey Jude by the Beatles. Then The Only Exception by Paramore. And then lastly I sang Toes by Zac Brown. I recall the karaoke night starting around 9 p.m. So from 8 to 9 p.m., somewhere between that time, I ordered my usual Fra Diavolo entree at the Dakota. And with it I had a margarita with salt on the rim. Though it came in a glass rather than the typical martini glass. And that margarita came sometime before the Fra Diavolo did. And I tend to kind of just sip at the alcoholic beverages I get. And so I still had most of it by the time the Fra Diavolo came out. Yeah, I always enjoy the pasta, the seafood, and the bit of spiciness to the Fra Diavolo at the Dakota. Yeah, I only had one more alcoholic beverage after I had the glass of margarita. And that was essentially, presumably, a special kind of mule. After I at the bar asked for something fruity and unique, and a bit later said that essentially I was in the mood for something with rum in it. That mule came in a copper mug, as is custom for mules. And I sipped at that one through the two black plastic stirring straws I was provided for that mule. The glass margarita, yeah, I just sipped at that using my mouth. Same for the roughly 2 glasses of iced water. I had following the mule. Though I had the first glass of plastic glass of iced water, alongside the mule. but the mule came first. And I recall finishing the mule first. So it still counts as saying that the 2 glasses of iced water followed the mule. I don't recall getting up for today. Until about 4:30 p.m. I stayed up until somewhere between 6 and 7 in the morning. And then woke up and fell back asleep a number of times. First waking up around 11 in the morning. I did a quick Duolingo lesson for Spanish. I recall doing the first part of the first level of the Rank Up Challenge on Duolingo at that time. And then I fell back asleep somewhere between 11:30 in the morning and noon, and woke up around 1 p.m. And then within half an hour, I fell back asleep, and that was when I woke up around 4:30 p.m. And then roughly 3 hours later was when my mom and I left for the Dakota. In those roughly 3 hours and 15 minutes during that period between me getting up for today and my mom and I driving to the Dakota for a karaoke night, my mom made me a cup of plain coffee, which I then sipped at in my room. I recall within the first hours of today, accidentally dropping my phone, what I'm using to record this currently. And I think I only cracked the screen protector. Hopefully it's just a screen protector and not the screen itself. But either way, there's now a crack along the screen of my phone. I also recall doing the majority of today's progress on the main island on Oceania during the brief times I was awake before 4:30 p.m. and during that 4:30 7:45 p.m. period of time. That was after I got up for today and before Mom and I left for the Dakota. Here's where I am currently on this game, Law of the Cat God. I recall starting to play it within the first hours of today. This being another idle game, I made progress on it whenever I went off it and then fell asleep, or went off it to do something else, such as go with my mom to the Dakota. But either way, here's where I am now. I got the easy badge for this game for prestiging for the first time. I recall doing that pretty late today, from what I recall. And I just got the rest of the cats, which I already got earlier today before I did my first prestige. I thought prestiging would get rid of this, since it resets all upgrades, but that turned out not to be the case.